You would like to get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's great. What I need you to do first is stop asking for subscribers. Getting to 100,000 subscribers is about developing the perfect content strategy. By now, you know the best way to grow on YouTube is by simply focusing on your audience. You know exactly who they are. You know why they watch your channel over the countless other options they have. And because you're providing value in every single video you make, you don't need to ask for subscribers. That is the kind of attitude and mindset it's going to take to get you to this number. Because by now, if you're still focused on the actual number of subscribers you have, then that means you're inherently less focused on the audience you're catering your content to. Up to this point, Rob and I have been working together to get you your first subscribers, your first 100, 1,000, and 10,000 subscribers. And naturally, this video is next. In each one of those videos, we dove deeper and deeper into the strategies and tactics it's gonna take to reach those certain milestones. For this video though, we're taking a big step back. We're gonna worry more about your creative insights, building up your YouTuber intuition. You'll be using this YouTuber intuition to consistently get all the videos you make to reach those top 5 slots, upload after upload. When you're over 10,000 subscribers, you've been digging into the data and you've been learning exactly who your audience is. And you've been consistently making videos for that audience. So now we're gonna talk about the steps it takes to make it to this next leg, the next milestone, 100,000 subscribers. The silver play button. When you're finally getting things established on your channel and you're making a consistent amount of videos and getting a consistent amount of views, it's tempting to not upset the balance, if you will, right? And as a result, it becomes really easy to get kind of stagnant, not just in the growth of your channel, but in the types of videos you're making. Let me explain real quick what this might look like. Let's say you're at a point in your YouTube journey where any video that you publish gets about 3,000 to 6,000 views within the first 24 hours. You consider this your minimum. You will always get this amount of views. This is your core audience. But an average video, the views you expect to get are more consistently 10,000 views in the first 24 hours. And then every so often, you have a breakout video, one that gets 100 to 200K views plus in the first couple of days after it was published. And those are the views you hope to get every single time you upload, but that's the part you're still trying to figure out. You're still trying to get that secret sauce down. Now, these numbers aren't actually made up. These are similar to the numbers that I see on one of my personal channels, which at the time of recording is at about 30,000 subscribers. And although I am referencing this channel right now, I'm not going to share too much because I do have a work-life balance to maintain, you understand. Anyway, with numbers like these, I think any creator would be very happy. That's thousands and thousands of people you're reaching every single month with your content. And chances are, if you're getting that many returning viewers, YouTube is steadily putting your videos out there to some new viewers, which is attributing to some steady growth on your channel. From here though, this is where you need to be giving yourself a little more trust as a content creator. You understand your audience so well here that, hypothetically speaking, your videos are getting 10,000 views pretty much every time you upload. But on this journey to 100,000 subscribers, it's time to break the mold, at least once in a while. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I want you to start looking just outside of your YouTube niche when you're looking for new ideas, new types of content you could make to reach a new audience. This is Josh Strife Hayes. He is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber with right now over 400,000 subscribers. And he actually has multiple very successful channels on YouTube, each with their own strategy and purpose. The channel is focused specifically on MMORPGs. You'll notice there's a very wide variety of MMOs featured on the channel. But then we get to a very recent breakout video for Josh. What the hell are NFTs? At the time of recording, this video is 3 weeks old and still getting 235 views per hour. And it has in total over 500,000 views. This is a video that is just outside the niche of this channel, and it's very likely reaching an entirely new audience for Josh. Now you might be asking, why are NFTs even relevant to an MMO channel? Well, Josh's community has an inherent interest in this topic. If you've been following this at all, you know that NFTs are starting to make their way into the conversation around gaming, specifically play to earn gaming. I'm only gonna go that deep in NFTs, by the way. We're not going any deeper than that. And the thing about NFTs is that they're pretty complicated, and you yourself might be asking, yeah, what even is that? Well, because they're at the top of mind right now, this is a topic that comes up during Josh's live streams. And the more times people in his chat ask things like, what's an NFT, the more reason Josh has to just give up, throw his hands in the air, and make a video about it. Well, it seems to be paying off because the views he's getting on his videos since releasing that one are up. And now, just a few days ago, he's decided to double down on this topic by making a video titled, What the Hell is the Metaverse? And it's getting 920 views an hour right now. And for those who don't know, the metaverse and NFTs are just really closely related. What was once a channel just about MMORPGs is now a channel that has the authority to talk about things that are just outside of that topic, things like NFTs and the metaverse. Another example where we experimented here on the vidIQ channel was back in the day when we followed the PewDiePie versus T-Series trend. We brought in a lot of new viewers with this content. This content was relevant to our audience. It was about two channels competing to get a certain number of subscribers. But at the same time, it attracted a totally different audience to the vidIQ channel. And while this content was relevant to our audience and what we do here at vidIQ, we don't feel like that content brought in a lot of returning viewers for our channel. Once that trend died down, our views started to level back out. And if that's the case, do we regret covering this topic? Absolutely not. We learned a ton, and it didn't really hurt anything either. In fact, it's very likely that some of you out there watching this video may have found us because of that series we did all the way back then. So in a worst case scenario, even a breakout success that you can't capitalize on doesn't necessarily mean doom and gloom for your channel. The important thing is that we tried something new, and at the time it made sense for the niche that we're in. So when I say that you should try some new things, I'm expecting that you yourself already have your version of this somewhere in your mind, that you can think of a topic just outside of your niche that would make for something fun to explore for your audience. If not though, it's time to do a little bit more research on your ideal viewer and find out what kind of content you could be making to run some new tests on your channel for some fun new types of content. Now, in experimenting with new types of content, you kind of run into another problem, and that's time. Where are you going to find time to do that research for your ideal viewer? Will this mean extra videos for your channel? And if so, when are you going to find the time to edit those new videos and create those new thumbnails? Well, at this stage on YouTube, and by this stage, I mean at or above 10,000 subscribers, this is about the time a lot of channels start to consider themselves legitimate businesses. Turning your channel into a business is a subject we can go really deep on. I do want to talk about hiring help, but I'm not going to go into subjects like LLCs, taxes, liability, employment taxes, healthcare, things like that. Let's keep it simple for now. You can certainly wait on this step, but when you are ready to hire some help for your channel, there are a few ways to go about it to keep you out of trouble, legal or otherwise. First, you need to decide what part of the creative process that's taking up a lot of your time, but that you also don't enjoy doing. For most creators I've spoken to, that's either editing or thumbnails. Depending on your niche though, a lot of creators actually opt to hire a virtual assistant, which is like a personal assistant who works remotely and handles a lot of your administrative tasks. Figure out your needs first and foremost. Now, if you're going to hire somebody, I have 3 pieces of advice for you, 3 mistakes that I don't want you to make. And this is coming from someone who's made them. Once you figure out what you need, do not hire your friends, hire your family, or seek free help from members of, say, your community, like your Discord moderators. There's a number of reasons I would refer to these as mistakes, and I'm sure you can draw your own conclusions as to the litany of things that can go wrong. But the biggest issue I had with hiring any of those people was the job either not getting done A, on time, or B, very well. I also never really got an expert out of the deal either, someone who specialized in what I needed. Instead, if you're gonna hire somebody, I would start your search on websites such as Fiverr or Upwork. These sites are full of freelancers who have all kinds of specializations. And the best part about sites like this is they handle all the money stuff. That third-party assistance can keep you out of all kinds of trouble when the alternative is paying for freelancers straight out of your bank account. So until you're in a position where you can actually employ people, I would lean on sites like this. Now, investing in hired help is one way that you can start to expand your business as your channel grows. However, your education is another way that you can invest.
One way I invested in myself was to learn about affiliate marketing. The simplest way to get started as a content creator is to join something like the Amazon affiliate program. You can do this well before you get monetized by the YPP partner program. I started off making 20 or 30 bucks here and there, but fast forward 5 years and now I make thousands of dollars per month based on the foundation that I laid back in 2017. Now, mind you, this is only one method of monetizing your content outside of YouTube AdSense. There are many more avenues of revenue to pursue once you decide to invest in yourself and in your own future.
That was Jeff, and he is one of the coaches here at vidIQ. We have a new product called group coaching, and if you're interested, the link is down below. Attendees have access to at least 2 one-hour calls every single month. They also have access to a private community with the other creators in the group. Regular calls with our coaches include really deep dives into YouTube strategy and tactics. And the goal behind all of this is to turn hobbyist YouTubers into business owners. So if that's something you're interested in, again, the link is down below, and it's certainly a way that you can invest in your YouTube future. The next thing we have to talk about is branching out, because when you're at tens of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, this is about the time you could start thinking about making content outside of the platform. Now, no matter how big your channel is, I don't want you to get carried away here. However, by now, you should have taken your chosen YouTube handle and at least reserved it on some of the big social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And I probably don't need to tell you the importance of reserving these handles even if you never plan on using them. Now, these various channels and platforms will differ for everybody depending on the type of niche. Certain creators might need to set up a Discord community, while others who make shorts might want to think about putting those shorts on TikTok, and they need a TikTok account and then a TikTok strategy. Now, why tens of thousands of subscribers before you do something like this? Well, from personal experience, every time I start a brand new YouTube channel, that channel gets my undivided attention. I don't post tweets with that handle. I don't develop a TikTok strategy. I don't post Instagram updates. You get the idea. And I don't do those things because starting a brand new channel takes an incredible amount of time and focus. Not to mention I still have my family and full-time job and other things in life that I need to balance. But by the time I have 10,000 subscribers on this channel, I'm probably pretty comfortable with its core content strategy at this point. And that's why I feel like this is a good time to start building your presence on other social platforms. And on that personal channel that I mentioned earlier, branching out to those other platforms had a huge, unexpected benefit that I did not account for. Before I knew it, I was becoming friends with channels multiple times my size. And then collaboration opportunities were really, really easy to approach. And listen, if you're hearing this as a channel that's well under 10,000 subscribers, and you're thinking to yourself, heck, why don't I just do that now? Let me explain. My advice here is to wait, because if you're anything like me and the countless creators I've spoken to, you probably haven't figured out that core content strategy yet. Having that made it super easy for me to even identify the creators within my space that I should be talking to and should be collaborating with in the first place. I also had the added benefit of a pretty decently sized channel by the time I did start to build these relationships. Now I didn't have to sell them on the idea of doing a collaboration with me. Obviously, this is a huge milestone and everybody's journey is going to be different. So hopefully now you have the perspective and the mindset you need to get yourself to 100,000 subscribers. But if you're looking to grow even faster, then I have to recommend this video next, because it's going to help you do just that.